Imagine that you wake up, but you can't move. You can see your room. You can breathe, but something feels wrong. This is not a dream. You are awake. Your mind is racing, trying to make sense of the sudden stillness, the heavy weight that pins you to your bed. You try to call out, to lift a finger, to turn your head, but your body refuses to obey. It's as if the connection between your thoughts and your limbs has been severed. You are a prisoner in your own skin. Your eyes dart around the familiar space, but the darkness plays tricks on you. The moonlight filtering through the window casts long, distorted shadows on the walls. The clothes draped over a chair no longer look like clothes. The corner of your room, usually empty, now seems to hold a depth it didn't have before. Every creak of the house, every distant sound from the street is amplified, echoing in the deafening silence of your immobility. Your mind is awake. Your body is asleep. This phenomenon is known as sleep paralysis. It occurs in the space between wakefulness and sleep, a state called hypnagogia or hypnopompic. Your brain has woken up, but the natural paralysis that prevents you from acting out your dreams, a state called atonia, hasn't worn off yet. You are conscious but trapped. Science can explain the mechanics. It can tell you about REM cycles and neurotransmitters. It can list the triggers. Stress, sleep deprivation, changes in your sleep schedule. It offers a rational, biological explanation for why your body is frozen while your mind is alert. It's a glitch in the system, a temporary desynchronization between mind and muscle. It's perfectly natural, and for most, it lasts only a few seconds, maybe a couple of minutes at most. But science struggles to explain the other part, the part that so many people, across cultures and throughout history, report with chilling consistency. They feel a presence. It's a feeling that starts small, a subtle shift in the atmosphere of the room, the sensation of not being alone. You strain your ears, listening for a footstep, a breath, anything to confirm your fear. But there is nothing, only the oppressive silence and the growing certainty that something is there with you, just beyond the edge of your vision. Your heart pounds in your chest, a frantic drum against your ribs. It feels like a heavy pressure, as if someone is sitting on you, holding you down. The air grows thick, making each breath a conscious effort. You try to scream, but only a faint, choked whisper escapes your lips. The more you struggle, the tighter the paralysis seems to grip you. Your gaze is locked forward. In the periphery, a shadow seems to move. Was it just a trick of the light? A car passing by outside? Or was it something else? You try to focus, to get a clear look, but the shape remains indistinct, a dark smudge against the deeper darkness. It's a silhouette that never fully forms, a figure that is both there and not there. Your logical mind tells you it's a hallucination, a product of a half-dreaming brain, but the terror it inspires feels undeniably real. This experience is not new. For centuries, people have tried to describe it. In folklore, it was the old hag who sat on your chest, or the mare that rode you in the night, giving us the word nightmare. In different cultures, it's known as a demon, a ghost, or an evil spirit. These stories were attempts to give a name and a face to an inexplicable terror. They were the language our ancestors used to describe this waking nightmare, from the incubus and succubus of medieval lore to the alien abductions of the modern era. The narrative often shares the same core elements: waking up paralyzed, sensing an intruder, and feeling a malevolent pressure. The details change with the times, but the fundamental experience remains hauntingly the same. The shadowy figures seen in the corner of the room have been interpreted as everything from ghosts of the dead to interdimensional beings. Is it possible that these are all just products of a frightened mind? The brain, in its vulnerable, half-awake state, is simply trying to make sense of the paralysis and the heightened sense of awareness. It creates a narrative to explain the physical sensations. The pressure on the chest becomes an entity sitting on you. The shadowy corners of the room become a lurking figure. It's a story your brain tells itself to explain the unexplainable. It's a projection of your deepest fears, given form in the twilight of consciousness. Neurologists suggest that the part of the brain responsible for creating our sense of self and its position in space, the temporoparietal junction, may be hyperactive during sleep paralysis. This hyperactivity could create a shadow perception of another body in the room, a hallucinated, ghostly twin. Your brain essentially creates a ghost to account for the confusing signals it's receiving. But even with this scientific framework, a question lingers. Why is the experience so consistently personal? The presence doesn't just feel random. It feels intentional. It feels like it is aware of you. It watches you. The fear it generates is primal, a deep-seated dread that feels more ancient than any rational explanation. For those who have felt it, the line between hallucination and reality becomes terrifyingly thin. The moments stretch into an eternity. You lie there, waiting for it to end, waiting for the feeling to pass, for control to return to your limbs. You focus on a small detail, a pattern in the ceiling, the light under the door, anything to anchor your mind to reality. You tell yourself it's not real. You tell yourself to breathe. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it releases you. With a sudden jolt, you can move again. You gasp for air, sitting bolt upright in bed. Your body is drenched in a cold sweat. You frantically turn on the light, flooding the room with a harsh, reassuring brightness. The shadows retreat. The chair is just a chair with clothes on it. The corners are empty. You are alone. But the feeling, the memory of that presence, it doesn't fade with the darkness. It stays with you. The terror lingers long after the paralysis is gone. You check the locks on your doors. You look under your bed, even though you know, logically, that there was nothing there. But the experience has shaken you to your core. It has blurred the boundary between the world you know and a world of shadow and fear. Science explains the paralysis. It offers a neat, tidy box for the physical symptoms. A glitch, a misfire, something to be understood and managed. But it doesn't fully explain the presence. It doesn't explain why so many people, independent of one another, describe the same feeling of being watched by something unseen, something just out of sight. So, when sleep paralysis happens, are you truly alone?